Rachel McAdams, Harrison Ford, and Diane Keaton team up this week for a comedy about morning talk show hosts. A milieu so neglected by Hollywood up until now that we've decided to ape it for this week's episode.
So grab a hot cup of joe, curl up on the couch, and stay with us as we bring you stories inspired by this week's releases. Because just this once, the movie guys are now the morning guys.
Well, a good morning to you and to everyone. I'm morning guy Paul Preston here alongside my fellow morning guy Adam Witt.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. We're here to catch you up on what's going on in your world. Adam, I couldn't help but notice today there was an awful lot of commotion going on out there in the traffic lanes. What is up with that?
Right you are. Citizens be warned. There's a runaway train. It's loaded with toxic cargo. It's headed for the city and it's destroying everything in its path. It's unmanned and it's rumored to be... City officials have said to expect an event radius of 20 to 45 miles.
Ah, so that explains the fear and panic I saw in so many faces this morning. I thought everyone had just missed their morning coffee.
No, it's actually quite serious, as we were able to ascertain from these radio transmissions between train line officials.
We have an unmanned train rolling into a highly populated area with no air brakes.
Yeah.
Bravo 6, what's up? There's an unmanned train on the northbound track.
It's under power?
It's coming straight at us.
What are we worried about in terms of cargo?
8 freight cars of hazardous chemicals. We're not just talking about a train. We're talking about a missile the size of the Chrysler building.
I need to know where that train is.
We're not exactly sure.
You're not sure? We'll find out.
That is pretty bad. But I understand there is a warm human interest side to this story, isn't that right?
Of course there is. There always is. It turns out there's another train directly in the runaway's path containing 2 other conductors who are currently trying to devise an incredible yet far-fetched scheme to try and stop it. Now, the interesting part is that this train contains a veteran engineer and a brand new conductor and it's his first day on the job. I mean, what are the chances that would happen? It's incredible.
Wow, that's a corker. Well, there's one test he certainly couldn't have crammed for, huh? Well, we'll keep you updated on the situation as it develops, but here's some morning comfort for you. The entire operation is being overseen by director Tony Scott, so I think it's safe to say we're all in capable hands.
I couldn't agree more, Paul.
But right now, let's turn from traffic to weather and see what's above us in the skies this morning. For that, we turn to the always sunny and mild Karen Volpe, our morning guy's weather girl. Karen?
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Paul. There seems to be a warm front moving through our studio this morning. And good morning to everyone watching at home. Well, all of the weather patterns appeared normal earlier this morning until right before sunup, when brightly colored blue streaks were observed descending upon the LA skyline. Let's go now to the Doppler sky cam above the city so you can get a better idea what I'm talking about. This here is a view at approximately 4:27 a.m. As you can see, everything appears normal. Then, right here, you see the first streak descending, then another and another in rapid succession. That was the scene earlier today. Switching to our current shot, you can see that the entire city has been engulfed in flames.
Karen, any indication of what those blue flames might be? Do they fit any known weather pattern? Oh, by the way, good morning.
Good morning, Adam. No, there are no meteorological explanations for these conditions, but we have unconfirmed reports from other cities throughout the United States that have similar conditions and have even spotted alien UFOs. It's not certain, but the Earth very well could be under attack by hostile extraterrestrials.
Oh, yes, another one of those. I guess we were due, right? How many years since the last major one?
Well, of course, South Africa experienced heavy devastation last year in their District 9 area, but we here in the United States have not had that kind of destruction since the 2005 War of the Worlds, which, if you remember, measured a whopping 7.5 in the H.R. Giger scale, measuring the size of alien apocalyptic events.
Well, what's your feeling on this one? And how does it compare to the last one, or even to the granddaddy of all recent alien invasions, the Independence Day attack of 1996?
Ooh, that was a bad one.
I wouldn't expect it to be that dire, no. With those invasions, there were warning signs for weeks. Posters, billboards, Super Bowl ads, so we all knew something big was about to happen. With this, it just sort of snuck in under the radar, and I would guess it would be over within a week or maybe less. But we should all still take the usual invasion precautions. Dress in layers, Wear sunglasses or have protective eyewear with you at all times. And if possible, have an extra car battery on hand, just in case.
Thank you, Karen. It's now 10 after the hour.
Oh, it is.
It is somewhere.
Oh, right.
And in the next hour, we'll have some smaller, practically insignificant stories about a moody college grad living at home, a newlywed couple questioning their relationship in an idyllic setting, and a scientist who boldly advises a fear of science approach to the problems of global warming. And for now...
Paul, excuse me, I've got some further developments here in the unstoppable train story we reported on earlier. For details, we're going to go right now live to the street to our roving reporter, Stephen Lewis, to give us some further details. Stephen?
What? No good morning?
Good morning!
Good morning!
Good morning to you, Steve.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's more like it. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Adam. Karen, looking lovely as always. Although I have to say, I don't know that that dress is exactly the one I would use to model the concept of dressing in layers to people, if you know what I'm saying.
You stop it, Steve.
I tell you, as you were, saw you were doing a story about blue streaks engulfing the city in flames, I thought it was a piece about Karen jogging. That's good stuff. But on a serious note, we have learned of approximately 150 school children whose lives are in jeopardy this morning. They set off for a field trip into the city via train, and they are now heading into the path of devastation.
Now, are they traveling on the same track that train is on?
That's a good question, Adam. Actually, we're not sure. Our initial reports are sketchy. It's not exactly clear from the trailer whether they're on a collision course or a parallel course with the runaway train, but it does not look good. Now, we do have some footage taken earlier today of the children before they left on their field trip. Let's run that now.
What do we do when we get to a railroad crossing?
And again, that footage was taken earlier this morning. It's the last known footage we have of the children, again, heading into the path of devastation.
Steve, what do you make of this recent development, and how does it affect things in the big picture?
Well, it obviously raises the stakes in dramatic terms. Some might say in a forced way.
How so?
Well, we already do have a train threatening to destroy an entire city. Now, you add to that a rookie conductor on his first day on the job, as well as the grizzled veteran that he has a crusty relationship with, and you already have enough to sustain an audience's interest, one would think. It's unclear at this point whether the additional plot complication of these kids put in jeopardy will further audience sympathy or make the whole thing appear ridiculous. But rest assured, I'll be here reporting live from the scene, from the story, as it develops further. For Morning Guys, this is Stephen Lewis.
Okay, Steve, and thanks again. Now, with citywide destruction possible and an alien apocalypse underway, it seems insignificant to mention it, but there's been a bit of a shakeup over at our rival morning program, Daybreak.
Oh, really?
According to our sources, things aren't all roses and cream cheese over there on the set.
Well, for more on that story, let's go to our full-time weather girl, but sometimes gossip girl, Karen Volpe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, guys, now it's time to get down and dirty. First off, the sagging ratings at Daybreak forced the network to bring in a new producer, the young but plucky Becky Fuller. Well, she sure didn't waste any time in shaking things up, bringing retired news anchor Mike Pomeroy to co-host with longtime Daybreak mainstay Colleen Peck. So, how are the hard-scrabble Pomeroy and the eternally vapid Peck getting along in the set? Here, take a look for yourself.
You happen to be a pretentious, fatuous idiot.
A fatuous idiot who makes 3 times what you make.
Mike is offended by a word in the next story.
It's about Easter chicks.
I'm not saying the word fluffy.
That's wrong.
Do it again.
Suck it.
Paul and Adam, back to you.
Frankly, Pomeroy and Peck seem like a match made several miles south of heaven.
Oh, watch it.
Seems like Daybreak will now have to reap the bitter harvest of this unusual staffing decision.
Speaking of bitter, can I get a little cream and sugar for this? This coffee could curl the nose hairs off a dead man.
Absolutely, buddy. Hey, can we get some cream and sugar over here? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good thing we don't have any prickly personality conflicts on this set.
Oh no, that would have made this episode particularly painful to watch.
Now, if you're interested in seeing whether Harrison Ford and Diane Keaton can live harmoniously as co-hosts of a morning talk show, or whether Rachel McAdams can balance the twin demands of love and career while trying to save the ratings of a flagging talk show, go see Morning Glory.
And if you've enjoyed this parody at all, then I bet it's the movie for you. But if you haven't, we apologize, and we'll be back to our regular t-shirted irreverent selves this time next week. Until then, Good morning!